everyone. I'm Tamara with Epiphany Healing Arts and AutismCollective.Love. And I'm here with Lacey Lou, Ari, and Cookie, my pups around me. Hopefully they are not going to go into a barking fit. Here's Cookie. Say hello, Cookie. Hi. Oh, why are you shaking, buddy? Okay. Sometimes the dogs are like super sensitive to the energy, and so ones in particular would be Cookie that lives in this house that's more sensitive in that sometimes when he feels like an energetic shift or change or something like that, he will show me through his body. So one way is like coming up to me and pawing at me and like being shaking all over and things like that. So anyways, wanted to do our live stream. So I apologize, they're not exactly every week like I had planned. I've been waking up with headaches and things like that, and so it's been taking me a while to kind of get going in life. Today we have nothing planned, nothing planned out. In fact, what I'm just gonna do is just like purely channel from the Autism Collective and see what they have to say. The only thing I wrote down was to ask the kids, where are we? Where are we? Where are we as humans in this whole like funny film game, this movie that we're playing out? Let's just go ahead and dig into it. So I'm just gonna kind of re-establish the connection there so I can feel. So I've already created the space. I've already used different spiritual protection techniques to give us kind of a safe space, a safe, like a little hideaway here to be able to connect with the energy in a safe way. So there's nothing interfering, trying to get a different message out, trying to hijack, sabotage these beautiful messages, or these messages. They're not always beautiful, but these messages that these master beings have for us. So, all right. I want to see who it is. So it is Spencer, and he is saying letting go. Sorry, he's saying that letting go is the most important thing that we could do right now, is really getting good at that. And I feel him kind of taking a side to say something that is not easy, not an easy conversation. What he's saying, and it's like, even I don't want to deliver it because it's like stress. I feel my throat chakra going. Then I feel the master of the grid workers, Jordan, coming and smoothing that, like, no, you can channel in this information. There's a lot of people, kids, adults, whatever, a lot of humans that are leaving the earth plane right now. You need to understand that it is all their own choice. Even though we are left behind to grieve them and to ask why, to try to understand. It is in their dharma, their plan, their soul purpose to leave at this time. They have contributed what they're going to in that current form, in the form that they came through as little boy, as little girl, as grandpa, grandma. And now they're moving into their next path. And the reason he says get really good at letting go is not to overstep the grief that is a natural human response to losing someone or something, or not being able to access them in physical, to have them, to hold, to touch. That's a natural human emotion that we need to feel. But one of the aspects of losing somebody that can re-trigger the trauma of it over and over is the shock. And this is where he says that while we're not going to walk around expecting to lose, like, oh, I'm probably going to lose my mom, or I'm probably going to do that, tone down the shock response that re-traumatizes and keeps you in a loop, in a cycle of, I still have trauma over when my mom told me that when my dog Mac died. I have trauma from hearing the words. Just thinking about it, I want to cry because I can still feel the shock. And what Spencer's saying is, as unfortunately, as hard as this is, we're need to get used to letting go. And this is not to desensitize, but there's just going to be more people leaving the earth plane. And we that are staying are not ready for it. All right, buddy. So how do we do that? Because that's like a big ask, right? That's a big ask. He says that in a way it is a desensitization. When we come in with an understanding that there are more people than we're used to leaving the earth plane, then when somebody we know does, we can say, okay, so they must be complete. And that doesn't matter how they leave. You might think, oh, okay, so maybe somebody that passes away in their sleep, it's because that they are done with their job here and they're leaving. But somebody that commits suicide, no, that's wrong. Or somebody that gets in some, like, dies from some violence, that's wrong. They were taken from us. Spencer's saying, no, they weren't taken. This is soul contract connection stuff. This is not new. This is not new information. He's bringing it out because in this way, as a reminder, because we've never lived in these times for us, or we don't have a memory of times like this where so many people are leaving in a short period of time. Another little thing he's saying, he's like, please just give yourself grace. It's really important to allow the feminine energy to hold you during these times of grief and worry and stress. This is where the divine feminine shines. And she exists in you and outside of you, within other people. And let her mother you. Let her rub your head, rub your back. Let her hold you. And it's even the toughest, grittiest, muscle, big-bellied, beard guy, men, truckers, whatever. You can let the mother hold you. That's what she's here for. So real quick, I was like, wait, where's this message coming from? It's not coming from the Autism Love, the collective. It's actually from my higher self. And that is that the mother energy is under serious attack. And so we need to call her to us and make her active in our life. Just think about this And I don't want to enter into the polarity. When we talk about attacking and these people do this and that, then we're in the duality of it. And that's not what we're doing here. But just understand what you see and how certain things that maybe you've experienced appear to be a suppressing of that femininity. And just as we call her to us, as Spencer suggests, with grace and allowing the feminine, we don't allow the suppression of her power in our lives, whether it's internally or externally. Okay, so now I feel, thank you, Spencer. So now I feel that Jordan's coming in with some sort of big picture grid work of the world kind of thing. Okay, Jordy, where are we? So what she's saying, and she knows I'm kind of asking her, like, how many people have woken up or in the waking process, stepping into their sort of higher spiritual, like putting a toe in their higher spiritual elevated beingness. And although out there in the world we hear the language, people are waking up everywhere. Jordy's saying, guys, they were so asleep. So asleep. Like this giant Shakespeare book smashing them down asleep. Like, I can't, you know. That when there's a little spark of like, maybe that's not an accurate statement, or maybe that's not an accurate belief, people feel like they're awakening, and they are, but it's very small. And those of us that are light workers and are not suppressed light workers that continue to work and do our work, as painful as that is, it can be kind of frustrating, and it can seem like it's taking forever. And it is. What Jordan says is, so the critical mass of people that we need to be vibrating certain frequencies, let's just call it that way, is not there. It's still very low. So how close are we to that critical mass? 80%. We're only 20% there. That doesn't mean that there's only 20% of humanity that's awakening. No, there's a huge mass of people awakening, but they're not able to hold the vibration that is demanded of us in order to evolve into, I guess, the new earth, like a new way to live our world in love and compassion, empathy, and goodness, to overcome any forces that are contrary to that, to be able to just be like, yeah, no, this is our operating system. To be able to, how about this, upgrade to Earth to a new operating system. This operating system that has always existed and always been available. However, the vibration that the majority of people are emanating, that are vibrating at, has not been to a level to be able to support and sustain that operating system. So she's saying we're 20% there. Oh gosh. So for me, the human, I'm like, am I going to live long enough to see it? And I get yes, 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 yes. So that's a good thing. So, okay. So we have work to do. So these vibrations, so those of us that can hold these higher vibrations and even higher vibrations than is necessary, We have to keep doing our work. We have to keep doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it. Right now, I don't know about you, but the reason why it's so hard for me to do these even just once a week for what, a half hour or something? I should be able to come once a week for like a half hour. It's so hard holding the vibrational space. And I live in California, and we are just carrying 20 of these around energetically. Ah, Lacey and the neighbor dog. Okay, so it's exhausting, and so we need some of our fellow light workers that have a capability of holding these other vibrations to continue to do their work. What do I mean by that work? We mean clearing your energy every day. In fact, almost every moment, right? So when you start to feel the big weight coming your way, okay, I'm starting to sense and feel it. Now I need to move my energy. I need to shift. I need to breathe. I need to use your spiritual toolkit, whatever it is, essential oils, do some yoga. You need to move the energy so that it doesn't come on and weight you down. You need to liberate your vibration. Okay? You got to do the work. You can't let it pile up, pile up, pile up until pretty soon you're desperate. You've got to lay off of the vices that lower the vibration. Okay? So that would be like alcohol, drugs, and although I am a fan of medicinal marijuana, if you are using marijuana for something that's not medicinal, if you're using it for emotional comfort or to substitute emotional eating, you've got to look at the wound under there that causes you to reach for the thing. It could be anything. It could be chocolate. It could be anything. So you've got to go and dig through those things to see what actions am I taking in my life that are causing me to suppress my vibration and keep it down and keep it down. You don't even, it's hard enough as it is without all of that coming into play, just existing in a higher vibrational state right now with the energy that's primary energy that we live amongst, at least where I live. Maybe if you live in like Fiji, I don't know, maybe that's not a good example, but some beautiful island where there's vortexes and it's really easy and you have like freedom loving people around you, or whatever it is, that it's easier and it's harder in these other areas. But we're here for a reason where we live. And everybody says, Tammy, you should move to whatever, Florida. I would love to, but my life is here. My memories of going with my dad to Polly's Pies, that's here. My mom's house, that's here. Driving by the old house on Manor View, that's here. Running into people from high school and being able to be okay, that's here. All the things that make me in my community, that's here. I shouldn't have to leave. But people should do their work and try to make it better. Yeah, just like I'm trying to do my work and make it better. And so Jordy, what she shows me is that these suppressed or light workers that allow themselves to get bogged down, it's time to activate. Now it's your turn. You've got to get yourself back. If you found yourself, okay, let's check this, Jordan. So there is, as we know, a brainwashing. If you don't know that, then you might be in it. There's a brainwashing of society, of the world, through the media, passed along by the humans that believe it and then pass it on through shaming and being ostracizing, and all these other ways that they do. Okay, so if you're not aware that that's going on, you need to look that up. Just look up like what Operation Mockingbird or mass psychosis, whatever it is. That is real. That's a real thing. In fact, the TV, you could think of it like, or the phone, the frequency box. Frequencies coming at you all the time. You've got to discern. Okay, so this percentage of light workers. So we've got this high percentage that can hold the frequencies. We've got people like me that can hold it, but then sometimes struggle, and then hold it and then struggle, that are right there. And this is, so we've got people that can all the time hold the frequencies that we need. It's like 0.0001%. There's very few. The in-betweeners, like me, I would say is 2% of of just the light workers, not of humans, of the light workers. And there are some animals that are in that too. Okay? It's not just humans that are the light workers on this earth. All right, so now let's take the rest of the light workers. When I say the light workers, those are people that it is in your life purpose to be on this earth. Moving vibrations, healers, bringing love, bringing light, understanding, teaching people forgiveness. That's you guys, okay? That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be, you could do it for money, make fries at McDonald's if you want. But your big purpose is in this light worker way. Okay, so maybe that describes you. 40% of those light workers in that group are not doing any work at all. They just allow themselves to be swept up with the masses. The other remaining percentage are trying but having a hard time. So there's sort of this level here. I'm reaching my arm to this group here that are trying and having a hard time, saying, hey, I'm here to support you. How can I help you with tools, with shifting energy? How can we help? How can the Autism Collective help you? How can your soul family help you? How can your star family help you? How can your actual family help you? How can we help you to clear yourself out of the muck, deprogram any programs that are in there, and help you to gradually start raising your vibration so that you can accommodate more light in your body? And Jordan says that's what our friends over here in the 2% are here to do. You need to reach out to healers that you trust. You need to feel with the vibrations that you can feel. What you can feel, you need to go to your gut, which is often what's left is the gut instinct, and feel and reach out to those that you know about. And how can I help? You don't have to do it all alone. You can. I'm a little bit of a lone wolf with stuff like that, but you don't have to. And then it's going to be your job to reach down and pull the people out that seem lost, the light workers that seem lost to us. So healing has to take place within the light worker realm if we're ever going to be able to reach out into the people that's not their purpose and really help them lift up out. This can happen, Jordan says, instantaneously, or it can take thousands of years. Because remember, at least in my generation of light workers, and maybe most generations up until maybe the Autism Collective, when we incarnate in our body as a light worker, we have memory loss, we have amnesia, we don't remember. So we have to do all this work to be able to We have to do all this work to be able to remember. And that could take a really long time. It could take decades, right? Although the kids, the Autism Collective, they're here though to teach parents now that when you have a child, maybe the universe didn't want you to hear that part, but what I was saying is that when you have a child and now you're holding a certain vibration, now you have a baby or you have a grandbaby, it's your job not to allow that amnesia to set in that child. So saying, as soon as they can talk, what do you remember from before you were born? Do you remember what you looked like before you were born? Do you remember being in mommy's belly before you were born? Do you remember what happened before that, before you were born? Do you remember if you ever lived in a different body before you were born? So help to bring to light the multidimensional being that they are. Then they'll have less time of having to reclaim and regain who they really are. Okay, so that's it for today. I want to thank you for watching. It's a little bit of a choppy video. I kept pausing for dogs to finish barking and things like that, so hopefully it stitches together okay. And if you want to work with myself or the Autism Collective, just go to AutismCollective.Love and you can read about Jordan and Spencer and the Autism Collective. And if you are one of those light workers that is, like half and half, or really like kind of struggling and felt like maybe you've lost part of yourself and it's really hard to hold the vibration, you have time. We could get that going and help you learn to accommodate more light and learn to get you back on track with your practices. All right. The love and the light and divine in me sees and honors the love and the light and divine in you. Blessings from the Autism Collective. Much love to you. Namaste.